Okay, what's up, everyone? Swinging Bull here with PB Alerts. Welcome to my earnings stream. There's the bell for the closing bell for the regular session. So regular session officially over. We'll see what after hours price action brings. But what brings us together today is Micron is reporting earnings. Okay, so they report at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. Just going to kind of zoom into the 5-minute chart. They're already getting a little bit of volatility, probably some anticipatory price action leading up to the earnings data. I do got my other screen pulled up here on the side, so when that data hits, we get the EPS, we'll get the revenue, and then hopefully some guidance. They can put some guidance out there. I was just talking to the one of the members in the Discord just a few moments ago. We're just looking at the previous reactions that Micron has had to their previous earnings. They got hurt pretty bad on the last earnings. That kind of was the catalyst that started a bit of a downtrend here, quite a bit. They lost like 30-40%. I mean, they were at 150 before that earnings. Wow. But the time before that, they actually gapped up and had a positive reaction. So I don't know. Are we due for a positive reaction on Micron? Kind of set up as a double bottom kind of trade right now. Working on printed a green candle today so far. So we're just gonna have to wait and see. Like I said, they report officially at 4:05 p.m. Eastern. It looks like we're already getting a decent move here. Yeah, Colamp on Discord got a little big pump action going on here. So earnings, they might be out. Maybe they got leaked a little early. Just double check because showing 4:05 p.m. Eastern, but sometimes they come out a few minutes early. Just go back to the sticks real quick. We are definitely getting a positive reaction here, folks. Almost up $10 a share in after hours. I know someone in the Discord said they had a call option dated for December. That was Tim's, my buddy Tim's. So, I don't want to give you an early congratulation in case this thing does decide to reverse, but it's already up 11% in after hours. Uh, Kind of flickering a little bit. We'll see if this holds up. If so, you should have a nice payday tomorrow. So we'll see. You were calling out a $5 to $10 jump before this price action started, so you kind of spot on there for the time being. Let me just check my screen and see what's going on with the data. I didn't even have a chance to go over what their forecast was or anything. Let's see. Trend Spider saying MU flying on earnings. Okay, they're not really posting any info. Let me see if I can go to a couple different sources. Okay, got a good source here from Pepperstone. Let me just talk about this, and I'll post it on YouTube for everyone. Give me 1 second. We post that. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, so earnings are out. We got EPS. We got revenue. We got free cash flow and gross margin. So just a couple tidbits here. Oops, let me go back. Sorry about that. Okay. So the EPS came in at $1.18. The forecast was $1.12. So they beat EPS. Investors are obviously liking that. Looking at the price action, I'm gonna actually go back to the candlesticks here and zoom in on the 1 minute. And let me just make sure. Porterhouse on Discord, resistance 109, 110 area. Yeah, I kind of was looking at that earlier too. Kind of go on the bigger time frames. You can quite clearly see where the rejection was. Had quite a bit of sellers up there waiting around that 110 area. So I definitely agree with that level as far as a more recent resistance. I mean, that's only it's about a month old, about 30 days old. So keep your eye on that level. Let me zoom in so we can see the intraday price and after hours price right here. So sitting at $105.50 basically. Let me zoom into 1 minute real quick. So EPS came in at $1.18. Forecast was $1.12. Let's see. Cash flow, $3.41 billion. Estimate $3.6 billion. So they missed on cash flow. Let's see, gross margin 36.5%. Forecast margin was 34.7%. So they beat the margins. That's important too. I think margins is a lot of times more important than the EPS sometimes. So they beat margin by like 2%. I like seeing that. Let me see if I can get any guidance, anything like that. I know that's why people are here. Got about 400 people joining us on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Got a good group in the Discord here. Welcome everyone. I do this every Wednesday, by the way, 4 p.m. Eastern usually. And Micron was the one on my radar today. What's going to do an inverse iron condor on it? I decided not to pull the trigger this week. Their expected move for Friday's expiration was like $9.50. So they're basically, they basically hit their expected move on this reaction here. So we'll see if it holds up by Friday. But that's what the options chain is pricing in, is about $9.50 move on by Friday's expiration. Let me see. Okay, their revenue came in at so they did have some cash flow issues, but revenue came in at 7.75 billion. The forecast was only 7.64 billion. So they beat revenue and they beat EPS, double beat there. And if they increase guidance, that would just be like a triple Lindy, if you will. That's going to be good for them. Let me just pull up here's some data from Alpha Sense real quick. Revenue 7.75 billion versus 6.8 billion compared to the prior quarter, 4.01 billion for the same period last year. So there's growth there, right? So 7.75 billion for the same period last year was only 4 billion. So they almost doubled their revenue. That's really good. And that's, I think, part of the reason why we're seeing a positive reaction on the stock right now. Net income of 887 million in the positive. So very much a profitable company, making almost $1 billion there a quarter. Let me just go back over here. Yeah, hey, Andrew on YouTube. Yep, they beat EPS and they beat revenue. There was a slight cash flow issue, but they did, I think, counteract that by their margins were a lot better. I think almost by 2%. Their margin, they beat their forecast margin by almost 2%. They got a lot of good things going on, and we're seeing that through the price action right now. We got investors piling into the trade here, so got our first leg up. Basically, it closed the regular session at $95.84, and it did hit a high of around 106.75. So, basically over a $10 move to the top. And Bruce on YouTube, is it a good time for us to sell? I mean, I can't make that decision for you. If it was me personally, just looking at this after hours price action, and I mean, if this holds as a higher low here, basically around 103 and some change, this could go higher. Very well could go higher. Maybe pop a Fibonacci on here just to kind of get a feel of where some of these mathematical levels are at. Actually, let me bring that to probably, yeah, we'll go to this candle here. I think is fine. So it kind of did breach basically 104.50, but recovered very nicely. Let me look at, let me go to Webull real quick, because coming into this earnings, they had a PE ratio of 78.37. Now, you might think that that's high, but we would have to compare that to their peers and competitors to see, if that's typical for their sector to have high PE. And with a company like Micron, I would think so. EPS kind of negative, trailing 12 months. 1.11 billion shares for free float. And just want to look at the income statement. Yeah, so they already had some profitable quarters leading up to this, and you could see the change in the year-over-year numbers. They completely did a 180. So they beat earnings again. They beat the forecast again. So it's looking good. What's their debt to asset? Only 33%. Okay. 33%. That's good. That's really low debt to asset ratio. They got plenty of assets to cover their liabilities, so no worries there. Let me just go back to the chart. So they're still going, folks. Okay, they're about to make a new high. Previous after hours high 106.77. They're at they're going to retest 106 here shortly. Let me back up here just for a second. So let's see here. A couple of statements from the CEO. Okay. Micron delivered 93% year over year revenue growth. That's what we were just talking about when we were talking about the revenue compared to the same period last year. There was huge growth there. They almost doubled. Revenue growth in fiscal Q4, as robust AI demand drove a strong ramp of our data center DRAM products in our industry-leading high bandwidth memory. Our NAND revenue record was led by data center SSD sales, so lots of tech jargon going on here, which exceeded 1 billion in quarterly revenue for the first time. That's kind of a milestone for them, 1 billion in quarterly revenue. That's exciting for them. So that was said by the president and CEO Sanjay Mehrotra. We are entering fiscal 2025 with the best competitive positioning in Micron's history. We forecast record revenue in fiscal Q1, of course, for 2025, and a substantial revenue record with significantly improved profitability in fiscal 2025. This tells me they raised guidance. I mean, they're saying that they're going to be breaking records going into next year. They probably raised guidance. I haven't seen any really direct quotes or data regarding that, but from the statements the CEO is saying, it definitely sounds like they raised guidance, probably the remainder of the fiscal year for this year, and then probably raised guidance for Q1 of 2025, I would think. So couple that with a revenue beat and an EPS beat, you got your kind of perfect trifecta going on here with Micron, and we're definitely seeing that in the price action. So EPS beat, revenue beat, raised guidance. That's a recipe for greatness. So congrats to the MU Bulls. I think it's safe to say. Now it's almost 4:15 p.m. Their earnings call with the CEO, I believe it's at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. So I think it was 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time. But if anyone wants to join that call with the CEO, let me post this link on YouTube, and this will kind of take you right to it. I'll post it on the screen here. So it's basically investors.micron.com, and it's very easy to get to the earnings call with the CEO. So you're just gonna pop that URL into your search bar here. So investors.micron.com. It's going to take you to a page, looks just like this, what's on my screen. And you can see right here, events and presentations. You got Micron's fourth quarter 2024 financial call. That's 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time, I believe that is, which is going to be 4:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm over here in Florida, so I always go off the Florida times or the Eastern times. And then you click on that, and then you see right here, view webcast, and it's real easy to join it. You just click on it. They will ask you to fill out a little form, but that's okay. Just fill it out, and then you'll be, you'll enter into the web call with the CEO. All right, so pretty easy to get to that. I'm not going to personally stream it because I'm going to get out of here probably around the time it starts. We got a hurricane coming through Florida through the Gulf right now, so I probably will lose power probably tomorrow. I'm over here in Tampa, so they're expecting 5 foot to 8 foot flooding swells, if you will, and yeah, so I got some. I got to go get some supplies. But it's supposed to kind of get near us by tomorrow. I think it's already raining and stuff. But D Mills, yeah. If you're having trouble with your trading, there's a link in the description, man. It's a free link. You can join our group for free. We live trade every single morning. We got analysts that are specific to certain types of trading. So if you come to the group, it's PB alerts. If you're into day trading in the morning, you're going to go see Ethan. If all you do is swing stock and equity, you're going to go see Lee. He goes by Mad Maverick. And I personally do all the advanced option strategies, like the multi-leg strategies. I do a lot of wheel strategies, selling cash secured puts and covered calls. I do a lot of calendar spreads. I do a lot of regular spreads, credit spreads, debit spreads, that kind of thing. I do a lot of condor. So I basically teach all that in the Discord. But like I say, we got an analyst for everyone. We got another guy that basically he's the master at technical analysis. So maybe you don't care too much about the fundamentals and you just worried about technical analysis trades. His name is Jay. He's been with us forever. That's who you're going to go see. That's all he does. So we got something for everyone. Like I said, I'm not here to sell you nothing. The link in the description, it's a free link. You join the free, see how you like it, and go from there. Let's get back to the candlesticks real quick. This is Micron still holding up. It's still looking good. Let me just kind of zoom in on this real quick. Okay, there we go. I'm going to slap a Fibonacci on this just so I want to know where that 25% retrace is. Here, let me just do this. I'll just put it at the bottom of this green candle to the top. You can kind of see where it bounced, kind of lines up with that fib level right there, which is basically $104. Okay, so for continuation, technical analysis wise, I'd definitely be looking at 104 would be a level of interest, and it's already bounced off of there. So then we're just kind of looking for higher lows from then moving forward, which looks like it's trying to do. Just taking a quick look at the order book, you can clearly see this order book has a set of 50 orders, basically all in position, right? And you can see there's a huge buy side imbalance. I mean, just look at that buy side imbalance. There's almost twice as many buyers as sellers here. Usually we get that imbalance, and you're going to see it go that direction. So just made a new high in after hours. So like I said, you just want to keep your eyes on the price action. Someone on YouTube was asking earlier, like, is this a good time to take profit? They were obviously long. Congratulations, by the way. You can see my office getting super dark because some of this hurricane stuff is coming. It's raining out pretty bad right now. But anyways, someone was asking on YouTube earlier, is this a good time to take profit? And of course, I can't tell you when to take profit. I can only give you my opinion. But if it was me, you just want to, especially if you're long right now. I mean, this is a big catalyst for Micron. If you're long right now, you should be looking at the screen right now. And, if you're only holding shares and you're able to trade stock with your broker in extended hours, you should probably be, if it was me, I would be looking at the charts right now if I was long and trying to decide if I'm going to take profit or not. Well, if this thing keeps making higher lows, then what, I mean, I guess suppose you could start scaling out and taking some profit and reducing risk if you wanted to. But for me, I just keep my eyes on these higher lows. And if it keeps making higher lows, then maybe you can, have like a mental stop underneath the most recent higher low and just see if you can stair step up with the price and see how much you can get out of it. I mean, that's kind of how I would do it. Yeah, Umar on YouTube, how high are we going? Me and Porterhouse, who is another analyst over here in the Discord, we were talking about that earlier, and he was doing some analysis, and we were looking like right around 110 area. So, keep your eyes on 110. That was a level of interest. I think it was about 30 days ago. It was about a month ago. It was a pretty good level of interest where there was a lot of sellers sitting around 110, kind of just waiting. And when the price got there, we saw a pretty firm rejection. Now that we're coming back up to that level, nothing's guaranteed in trading, but it was a recent level of interest that should be took into consideration. So Umar on YouTube, we're kind of looking at 110 as possible resistance. But again, Micron has I call it a triple beat. They beat EPS, they beat revenue, and raised guidance. So they got a trifecta of positivity going on right now. So who knows? Maybe it just goes right through that 110 level because of all the renewed interest and possibly new traders piling into the trade, or maybe investors that were already holding shares and are deciding to average up, if you will. We see stuff like that all the time. So hope that maybe helps as far as what we're thinking over here. I think 110 would be a good level just to kind of keep your eye on for now and kind of see how the price reacts if and when it gets there. If it doesn't get there, I guess this Fibonacci just kind of got invalidated because it did just make a new high. But let's say it starts kind of cooling off right here. I'd be looking around 104 on the downside. 104, and of course this most recent higher low here around 103 and some change. Like there's a 103, 104 area. We would really want Micron to hold that recent higher low as new support, and then it definitely could do another leg up. We're just going to have to see what the price does when it gets there. Let's see what else. Okay, so I posted the link for the web call with the CEO, the earnings call. So if anyone wants to join that, you're more than welcome. It doesn't start for another 10 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Okay, Umar, you bought with the intention to hold long either way, but it's so tempting when it pops like this. Yeah, it can be tempting to take profit, but just doing a little bit of a deep dive into the financials, their debt to asset ratio is super low, so you don't got to worry about any debt issues. Let's just look at the itemized statement real quick. You gotta kind of look at some of these statements every now and then, and they're sitting on 8.38 billion in cash and equivalents. And let's see what their cash burn rate is. You could see that through the income statement on net income. So they're not burning cash anymore. They were burning cash. They were burning like $1 billion a quarter, basically towards second half of Q3 is all I'm looking at here. It's just simple Webull financial tab. You can get this stuff on FinViz too, but they were doing not so good. But look at what's happened since then. They've finally gotten themselves back to baseline. They finally have positive net income. I mean, this could be a true like turnaround story for this company. And then quite clearly, you can see the year over year numbers basically did a 180. Now they're smashing year over year numbers when before their year over year just wasn't good at all. And you can look at the revenue growth, and it's always nice to see the revenue quarter after quarter getting much. You can just see it, it's rising up and a nice upward trend there. And of course, year over year numbers flipped green on the revenue as well. So I like the company. I like it. One of the reasons why I like it, because it's like a turnaround story. They were getting hammered, they were burning cash, but look what's been the recent earnings prints. They're actually showing signs that they're turning things around, and now they're actually a net profitable company. It's truly amazing. So I do like the company, and just FYI, I do not currently hold any Micron. So I'm not position bias, if you will. I'm just kind of call it like I see it, and just looking at the balance sheet and the income statement and some of the things. Yes, several quarters ago or a couple years ago, it was not good for them, but they've kind of turned it around, haven't they? So that's impressive. And look at here, they're still holding up. Still holding up. Again, I just have my eye on this previous higher low here. It's basically around 104 bucks. If they can hold that and make another leg up, then you could have a mental stop. Just move it up to the next higher low. You'd be good to go there. But of course, we still have another 3.5 hours left in after hours price action. So, if you're currently long on the position, if it was me, I'd be watching it, especially if it's only a stock position and you're able to take profit in after hours with your broker. But unfortunately, if it's options, you're just gonna have to wait till tomorrow to see what happens. But I don't want to talk too soon, but it's looking like a congratulations is in order to the Micron bulls. Up over 11% in after hours right now, 11.5%, which equates to about $11 a share. Tim's on Discord. Yeah, patience is your best friend. You hit it on the nose there. And again, top side level, we got our eyes on 110. Would like to see a break there because that was previous resistance about 30 days ago. And then downside, like I said, that 104 is a must hold if this thing's going to continue, because I'd hate to see this retrace all the way back down. That would just stink. Steve on YouTube grabbed 108 calls right before the close. Nice, man. You should get paid well on those, because you got to think intrinsic value alone. I mean, this stock closed at $95.77, the regular session. So if you bought 108 calls, this thing's up $11 a share. Just do the math real quick on the option chain with the delta. in the gamma, of course, because the value of the gamma is how much the delta is going to increase, and the value of the delta is how much the option contract's going to change for every $1 movement on the other underlying. So you're up $11 a share. So do the math with the delta and the gamma, and of course see what the theta was. Might as well put, I mean, you think the theta value, that's the value it's going to lose every day. Maybe just divide that in half, since you're only going to wait 12 more hours, or not even. Well, yeah, a little more than 12 hours, because regular session open at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. So you could just do some quick math there, Steve, and you can figure out how much that option is going to be worth, no problem. And I even think some brokers have like a simulation thing you can do where, okay, I bought this option at this price. Here's the Greeks, and you can say, all right, what's the value of that option going to be if it goes up, the underlying goes up $10 or something. And you should be able to figure that out pretty easily. Still hanging, Micron's still hanging out up here though. It's holding the gains very, very well. It's still got a slight buy side imbalance on the order book, and this is even after hours price action, so this isn't even like regular session volume. Let's see here. Okay, Tim's. Okay, yeah, you had that 110 call on Micron for December. You should definitely appreciate value, especially since you got some time on it, because the contracts with time on it, you're not going to get hurt with theta that much. So, Tim, you'll be in good shape on that call. James on Discord, do you expect it to lose these gains? I don't think so, unless it's like a geopolitical sell-off, something that it's outside of Micron. It's like world news or something. Of course, it could come down with that, but I don't think it's coming back for anything that Micron did. We were talking earlier. It's what I call a triple beat on the earnings. They beat EPS, they beat revenue, and raised guidance. I mean, that's like a perfect scenario for this to at least hold a big portion of these gains. I don't think it's coming back. And this is the thing, it's already 4:27 p.m. Eastern. These earnings data came out, 20 minutes ago. Investors and hedge funds and institutions, they've already digested this earnings data. If it was going to come down, I think it would have already tried to reverse. Now there is a wild card in there, and that's the web call with the CEO, which starts at 4:30 p.m. Eastern. Okay. But yeah, with that said, lots of great questions. Appreciate all the engagement. Like I said, I do this every Wednesday, so I'll be back next Wednesday with everybody. But yeah, looks like over 500 people tuned in. So it was nice hanging out with everyone. And I was talking to someone earlier about some things. And like I say, if anyone's looking for a new home, looking for a group to trade with every day, and just socialize and collaborate, and we got a real good group over here at PB Alerts. There's a link in the description. It's free to join. See how you like it and go from there. Looks like Micron's going after a new after hours high. Previous high was 107.61. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's pulling back anytime soon as far as after hours price action goes, and still got a pretty big buy side imbalance going on. So I don't see that getting any weaker either. But yeah, let me go ahead and end the stream. It was fun hanging out with everyone. Hope everyone has a fantastic night. And if you do end up joining the group, my name's the Swinging Bull, PB Alerts, and I look forward to meeting you. So cheers and have a great night. Bye now.